Hey, hi, and hello. I'm Troy the Art Boy, and today I'm going to be designing yet another unconfirmed experiment from Lilo and Stitch, the series. Just like in my last video, I'm going to go over a lengthy list of how this project is organized. If you've seen other videos of mine and would rather skip that explanation, then please jump to this point in the video. I'll give you guys a second to jump ahead if you want to. Still here? Great. During the end credits of Leroy and Stitch the movie, there is an official list with every experiment's name along with their number. I defer to that list and work with a friend of mine over on Instagram. Their account's name is Lilo's Library, and then brainstorm on the function and the one true place given to the experiments based on their namesake and again, number. The reason why the numbers are so important is because there are actually 7 different categories. Any one experiment could fall into any one of those categories depending on when they were created in the lineup, and those categories again are based on their numbers. As for instance, numbers 000 through 099 are categorized as being household helpers. Numbers 100 through 199 are the civic disturbances. 200 through 299 are the scientific and technological experiments. 300 through 399 are the psychological experiments. 400 through 499 are the militaristic experiments. 500 through 599, which are my personal favorites, those are going to be the elemental manipulators. And lastly, experiments 600 onward are the doomsday experiments, like Stitch. Given both the name and the number, I can get to work. Today's cousin is experiment number 013, named Furry. Based on their name, I knew today's experiment needed to be, well, furry. That much wasn't negotiable. When I first read the name Furry, an image of Stitch came to mind. I couldn't remember where I saw it, but Stitch was sitting down and he was looking much more fluffy than usual. I started to rewatch season 1 of Lilo and Stitch the series until I came across episode 19. That's the one where 627 is introduced. About halfway through the episode, I found the reference I was looking for. Here it is. I really liked the tufts of fur on top of his head and moved forward with adding something similar here. From there, I made a decision to try and make this earlier experiment resemble Stitch, although they don't look as much like him as, say, Leroy or Angel. I decided on a square, blockier body type, but I did stick with a mostly blue color scheme for both the fur and the nose. I imagine their square body doesn't lend itself to being overly flexible, or at least it causes them to sort of waddle when they walk, like a penguin. As you can imagine, it means they move fairly slowly. Well, most of the time, if furry needs to get somewhere fast, they just curl up into a ball and roll wherever they want to go. Yet another reference to Stitch. I always loved seeing experiments that looked similar. Double Dip Experiment 002 in particular was so fun to me because it was the first cousin that resembled Stitch. They were kind of the first prototype of the blue trog we've come to know and love. Sparky too. About once a year or so, I go back and rewatch all the old movies, and every time I get to that scene where Stitch sticks out his second pair of arms only to have Sparky copy him, and then to pick his nose with his tongue only to yet again be copied by Sparky, it really warms my heart, you know? With Furry, I'm just adding to that a little bit. He might not have the same body type, tongue, or extra set of arms, but he is the first fluffy rolling experiment, yet another piece to the eventual Stitch puzzle. Compared to some of their cousins, Furry is relatively gentle and kind. In fact, the only truly diabolical thing about them is how much they shed. Which, I mean, if you have ever shared a house with either a dog or a cat, you know it can be inconvenient at times, but it's not exactly dangerous. So I have this sweet, beautiful 18-pound cat named Odin, pictured here. They're part Mancoon and they shed a lot. What's more is they love to cuddle. Whether I'm heading to bed, or watching TV, or sitting down to draw, Odin is rarely more than arm's length away. I can't leave the house without needing to limp roll myself from head to toe. Not that I'm complaining. I grew up with a lot of cats that weren't exactly friendly. So if a quick lip rolling is the price of sharing my apartment with a cat that loves being near or on top of me, I will gladly pay it. Anyways, that overly affectionate behavior of my cat was something that both Lilo Zyberry and I agreed would be sort of funny to add here. So Owen 3 wouldn't just passively shed while walking around, they'd also seek out people to inconvenience with their falling fur. But rest assured, even though they leave their hair everywhere, it is completely hypoallergenic as it contains no earth allergens. I'm not sure how much they'd weigh, but it wouldn't be a lot. Certainly less than my cat, Odin. Easy for children to pick up. And despite how chubby they look, if you get them wet, I'm pretty sure they'd probably shrink to be about a third of their size. I wasn't immediately sure what to make this cousin's primary function. They were, of course, going to be fluffy, like I said before, but how do you make that useful? Ideally, useful for everyday life. Then I thought about Odin and I had an idea. They would be a mobile body warmer. Leo's library thought it made sense to have Furry be designed out of necessity. Jumba found himself orbiting an asteroid belt for 72 hours without heat. Then, in comes 013. Unfortunately, one of the alien species used to give Furry their thick fur also happens to be a hyper shedding one by nature. They would emit a calm, soothing warmth to those either directly next to them or touching them. And here he is. Owen 3 would debut in an episode named A Comforting Presence. They would be activated at a salon and spa when the pod finds itself on the receptionist's counter, and Monique Lay sweeps that pod off her countertop and into the business's water feature nearby. And Furry would find their one true place with a little girl named Maya. Maya is actually the little sister of a character we've all seen before named Elena, Myrtle's little blonde friend with the pigtails. Here is the episode synopsis. With the recent loss of Maya's treasured toy, and with her busy hypochondriac of a mother, Elena is tasked with and determined to comfort her inconsolable little sister in any way that she can. Nani enlists politically to help her improve her interviewing tactics. The activation of this blue, fluffy experiment resembling Maya's toy causes chaos amongst the family and causes chaos amongst the local population. Will Furry find his one true place? Will Maya find peace? And will Nani bank the job of her dreams? Let me know what you guys think. Just one more thing. The person I'm currently working with to do this project used to work with someone else to do basically the exact same thing a couple years back, except they never finished. If you've spent any time looking up unconfirmed Lilo and Stitch experiments online, you've probably seen their work. Their account's name is Sketch Lampoon, and I'm bringing them up because I've been playing a fun game where I look up earlier popular fan designs after I finished my own. It amazes me how two people can have different interpretations for the exact same prompt. The Lilo and Stitch fan art community is also just really small, and I want to spread the love. So if you have a minute, be sure to go check them out. And here they are. I love how small and compact they are, not dissimilar to what I came up with here. I also love how the dark patches around the eyes sort of engulf the arms too. Super cute. If you enjoyed this video, or honestly, even if you didn't, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm still very new to the whole YouTube thing, and every like and follow, it really does help a bunch. I've also just recently started a Patreon if you guys wanted to go support me over there as well. You'll have early access to some upcoming videos along with discounts on everything on my Etsy. And I know I've mentioned them a bunch already in this video, But if you have a minute, please, please, please go check out Lilo over on Instagram, along with my regular account, which is at Troy the Art Boy over on Instagram. I have so many other designs already uploaded over there, along with just so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you will see me in the next one. Bye.